Hello and welcome to We Never Met, the podcast where I have interesting strangers on every single week. Today we have, you can say your name.
Oh, Jessi Woska. Jessi Woska.
Jessi. And we were talking, you do a little bit of everything, but on your Instagram, what sort of drew me to bringing you in is you do chain stitching, which, is it a lost art? Because I don't really know that many chain stitchers out there. I don't even really understand, I don't think, what it is specifically. Like I know it's sewing based.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
you're on the right track.
That's all I know.
It's basically freehand embroidery. It's a super old school type of embroidery.
Okay.
It's how they used to embroider Letterman's jackets and biker patches and all of that.
Yeah.
Even like the puffy chenille patches that you see in Letterman jackets, those used to be done with chain stitch machines.
Oh, okay.
So
is that something that went away and then came back, or was that always sort of a thing? Because it's a cool style. Like it looks cool.
Yeah, that's kind of what drew me to it. It has been around for a long time.
Sure.
Like my machine, that specific style was invented in like the 1890s or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's super old. My machine's was built in the 50s.
The 1890s.
The 1890s.
Mine's from the original run.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the first one. OG chain stitch machine. Actually, it's from the 50s, but chain stitch embroidery is, kind of tedious, and it's freehand embroidery. So I control the direction of the stitches with a crank underneath the machine.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things happening in tandem.
Yeah.
And so once computerized embroidery started happening.
Oh, so it's all like CAD stuff pretty much? Like this is my design and then like a machine does it for you.
So that's why chain stitching kind of went away for a little while, because it just doesn't make a ton of sense if you're mass producing things.
Right.
To be doing it all by hand, because it really is, you're running a machine, but it's still very much by hand. Like every piece that I make is unique because I'm still freehand drawing it basically.
Yeah.
But it's a single thread embroidery, but it loops back onto itself to give it that like chain look.
Okay. And you have control over all of that.
Over
like the entire design basically.
Yeah. So it's freehand.
Yeah. So is it easy to mess up and like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, it's really touchy because you also are running the motor with your foot, and then you have to be able to turn on a dime. So, and you're using this hand crank underneath the machine to control the direction of the stitching and then the needle head.
Yeah.
So, it's really intense when you're stitching. I mean, you get used to it. It's like anything else. It's like muscle memory.
Sure.
But it does give you the ability to do whatever you want, whenever you want, like stitch whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you can do things like embroider someone's name on their jacket on the spot instead of having to.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of having to like program something and all that. So, but then it is my handwriting. So that's basically what you're getting. It's my handwriting.
I gotcha. Yeah, because I like when you look at those designs that you make, they're like all very perfect, So
thank you.
Yeah. So I was just like you have to be like insanely good then, because if the margin of error is like there's so much stuff going on. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it for a few years.
That's it. Just a couple
years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I started doing it by hand at first, which is totally different. And so it's embroidering by hand just because it was something that interested me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make my own design on the back of the jacket.
Yeah.
And ended up getting my machine after a lot of searching, and I mess up a lot, like, to be real honest.
Do
like
you?
I mess up constantly, and you have to focus incredibly hard. And half the time if you watch me stitching, you don't always see it in the videos when my face is like down in my down, exactly, like down on the fabric, like very close to dangerous parts of the machine. And
as your hair gets like sucked in.
My hair, it's a real problem.
I bet, yeah.
Because the top part spins because when I move the crank, it turns.
Right.
So I wrap my hair in it a lot.
Is it easy to get out?
No.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you do one of the videos where your hair is just stuck in there.
It's bad.
The realities of doing it.
Yeah. So I wear a beanie a lot when I stitch these days for safety reasons.
They should put that on the machine when you get it.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
Please watch your hair.
Watch your hair.
You'll just, I've yanked chunks out. It's
That's
good times.
terrible.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hair.
You don't notice it that much. Have you ever seen the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Where she gets her hair caught in like the roller coaster. Have you seen that?
I don't remember that one.
So
I've definitely seen all of the episodes, but
Okay.
I don't remember that.
There's one where they go to New Jersey, I think it is. They go to like that pier with all the rides on it.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And Dee gets she gets her like puka shell hair,
Oh.
and she gets one of them caught in a giant drop, and it yanks
No.
out of her head. That's like what I imagine.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it is. Is there a lot of chain stitchers here? Is there like a community of people?
There's a couple here. I mean, the chain stitch community is still pretty small. I mean, it's big. It's growing all the time, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty small. There's a small forum of people online that I've like kept in touch with.
Yeah.
But you kind of get to know everybody. Like you kind of get to know everyone and their styles.
Yeah.
It's growing for sure
yeah.
because it's getting more popular, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Because it disappeared for a while. Not completely. People were still chain stitching.
Sure.
Especially like in Western wear. They're still making.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Chain stitching has like
Like
remained,
cowboy jackets and stuff.
Yeah. And the rodeo shirts and all that. Yeah. It has remained through the Western.
Yeah. Do you know who Stitch God is? She does
I have heard of her. But
Yeah.
she does hand embroidery, right?
Yeah.
Really like in portraiture. Portraiture.
The old portraiture. She does it for like really big rappers like Chance the Rapper and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've definitely heard of her. I think I've had a few clients bringing her up and be like, "Hey, do you know this person is also
Because you all know
really
each other. Yeah.
Yeah. All the stitchers.
Yeah, anybody that stitches, we know.
Yeah.
We know each other. No, because I was actually talking to her about being on the podcast.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I love like handmade things, like things that are made like custom, which is like what you do on a daily basis now. And you were saying before that you sort of have been doing this full time for a year, like a couple years.
I mean, it's been a couple years that it's evolved into stitching being my main thing. Because I was working in fashion before, and I did the whole like quit your job, sat in return.
What were you
change
doing
your
in fashion?
I was an account executive for a women's contemporary apparel brand.
Did you like it or?
No.
Was it like your dream to go into fashion and then you kind of got in and were like, eh?
I got into it. I mean, kind of, you know. I'd worked in fashion wholesale for almost 10 years.
Okay.
And I just kind of got burnt out, you know? And it wasn't requiring anything creative of me.
Right.
And it was a cool job. It was a cool company. Like it was like an ego job, you know, like people, you'd tell someone and they'd be like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But it was soul sucking. So
I've been in those jobs where you like stay in a job because like basically you can brag about it.
Yeah.
Or it just sounds cool.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, I work here. So like, isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
But like, it's not that fun.
It's not, because people will tell you it's cool, but then you have to go there every day. And then you're like,
it's such a fleeting reward to tell, like, it's like, who cares, you know, if they think it's cool, they don't have to go work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, is that they don't have to go sit in that office every day.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things you can tell yourself and justify staying in a job that you're not happy in for a long time. And you'll tell yourself like, oh, it's like a resume builder.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And really you're just miserable going there for like over 40 hours a week.
Exactly. And it sucks all the energy out of you so that you don't have any energy to do the things you actually like after work. It was like the worst part of it. So
how did you get into that though? Like how did it go from you working in fashion to being like doing chain stitching? Were you just interested? Like, did you see videos about it or like what drew you to it?
I don't remember where I first found out about chain stitching. Maybe it might have, I went to school for fashion, so I might have seen something on it at some point. I'd known about it for a while.
Yeah.
And had seen it popping up here and there because it has been getting more popular over the last handful of years. And I have always been a kind of like do-it-yourself person. And I decided I wanted to make my own jacket, not make it from scratch, but like put something on the back of a jacket. because I couldn't find a design I really liked. And so I made my first jacket a handful of years ago. And I mean, YouTube University, I just looked up how to hand embroider. And
so you didn't take any classes or anything like that?
No.
That's really impressive. You must just have like a knack for that kind of stuff, because I feel like if I watched YouTube videos on it, it wouldn't come out like that.
I mean, you didn't see my first jacket, so
fair enough. But still, even if it's only been a couple of years, like in the stuff you're producing now, it's pretty impressive. I feel like it must be a certain type of like mind that you got that you can just go, like your motor skills are a certain way. Throw me on a machine next to you. We should do that for one of your events. Put me on a machine, put you on a machine. We'll make the same design. Yeah. See how it goes.
Yeah.
I don't have any hair, so I don't have to worry about the crank thing. But
and you're gonna get a beanie on, so you're good.
I'm good.
Safety first. It just kind of happened with a lot of practice, I think. But I was wearing that jacket a lot. And since I worked in fashion, I was having people ask me a lot, like, where can I get one? How do I get one?
Sure.
And in my little time off, I would make jackets for people or do custom work for people.
Okay.
And then once I did the whole quit your job, quit your career thing, I suddenly had a lot more time to do things. And it just evolved into opportunity.
So you didn't have like a plan, like you weren't like, I'm going to do chain stitching full time. That's going to be my thing, or not full time, but like my main thing. You just were like, I'm quitting because I hate this.
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
really bold.
I can't. I was like, I can't do this anymore. This can't be all that there is. I'm so miserable. This can't be all that there is. Like this can't. You work your life away to just pay rent, and then sleep, and then wake up the next morning and do it. So I quit and went to Mexico for a little bit and came back and was like, I'm just going to figure it out.
How long were you in Mexico?
Just a handful of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not months.
No, I wish. God, I wish.
Yeah.
I had to come back. I do have a cat, so
yeah,
I
me
had to
too.
come back. Where?
I've actually followed you on Instagram, and it's a very similar looking cat. It's like reversed.
You have a fluffy cat too?
Yeah, they're called ragamuffins. That's what I looked up, because I looked up long-haired Capri's, because I was like, what is she? She's not a Maine Coon. She's only like 12 pounds, so she's not big enough. She doesn't look like him. But yeah, she has like a black sort of V that goes like into her eyes, and then the rest of her is white, and she has a like half black tail.
Interesting. Yeah, I want to see her. She needs to come out here.
Yeah, she's somewhere. But
I tried to figure out what my cat was, and the closest I could get was a Norwegian forest cat.
That's what I thought Eve was too. Yeah,
but I don't know. She's just like a fluffy thing.
They look very similar. They could be related.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but they're probably not. But they just look like really similar. So, but your cat looks very friendly though.
Oh yeah, she's super nice.
With everyone, is she like that, or just with you? Because she's like on you when you're doing stuff.
Yeah, she's really needy. She's very needy. She's not one of those cats who like sits in the corners and looks at you and is like, "Fuck you, don't touch me." She's very much on you, around you, bothering you. She's very moody.
She's like a teenager.
She is. She's like a teenager. She really is. I joke that she's my prisoner and she has Stockholm syndrome because she can't leave my house. Yeah, she's stuck with me till she dies. So sorry. Yeah. But yeah, she's super friendly. She likes most people unless you're a loud stomper, walker type of person, and then that freaks her out.
I think just cats like females more than males, because our cat will like lay on my fiance's chest while she sleeps and stuff, and like. She barely does that with me, like she'll come around, but she won't it's not the same level of like affection.
Do you like thrash around in your sleep a lot or something?
I probably do. Yeah.
That's probably why.
I'm a rocker when I sleep.
That's probably why.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, she's hiding somewhere. But anyways, enough cat talk. Do you make stuff for your cat though? Do you make like cat bandanas? I
have made a couple for her.
Yeah.
Because I use her.
What's her name, by the way?
It's Lennon.
Lennon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she likes the bandanas.
Really?
Which is weird. Because I thought she would hate it.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to do the whole like back out of it thing that cats do.
Oh, yeah.
No, she's into it. She doesn't mind it at all.
Wow.
I don't like to keep it on her very long because I feel like she's going to strangle herself on accident. Get caught on something.
That's why collars are bad too, I feel like, for cats.
Yeah, because cats are so weird.
Yeah.
And they get into stuff and
right. And jump all over. Like
Exactly.
she sits up there and jumps straight down to the floor sometimes off the
oh,
cabinets.
that's on top of your counter.
I know.
On top of your
She likes
cabinet.
to sleep up there and survey her kingdom, you know? Really look down on us peasants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get nervous of that too, about having a collar on her.
Yeah, because they're kind of reckless and they're like little acrobats.
Yeah.
So I just put it on her to
Just
laugh
for
a little
photos.
bit
Yeah.
and to take pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like a cowboy. She brings
It's pretty cool. I follow a lot of cats on Instagram these days now.
Well, I'll make you a bandana for your cat. What's your cat's name?
Eve.
Eve. Oh yeah, you said that already.
Yeah.
I'll
that'd be
make-
sweet.
I'll make Eve a bandana for photo ops.
Yeah.
only.
Yeah, we need it because we took a 4th of July photo and we got our 4th of July bandana.
Oh
Hated it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not about
we
it.
had it on for about a minute, and then she was just like trying to get it off so much we had to take it off. But we got a quick photo, very quick.
You know, it's like it's what people do with their children too. You know, so,
just
same thing.
be cool for this photo, okay? Then you take
Chill
it off.
out.
Just relax.
Yeah.
So you've done stuff for a lot of people. We actually talking. I found your work through Damn Fine Coffee, which is one of the first coffee shops I went to when I got here. But you made a large banner for them for their 3-year anniversary, or was that it?
Yes, I think it was 3 years.
I think it was.
I think so.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I'll say it's 3. So is there a specific type of like medium that's harder? Is it easier to do it on jackets? Is it harder just to do because you did the entire banner?
Yeah, I made the banner too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I was able to stitch on the fabric and then like construct it into that
Right.
shape and all that. Banners are great to work on
Are they?
because the fabric, it's just fabric.
Mm.
And so they're easy to manipulate. Jackets are the hardest thing to work on.
Really?
I mean, it's great.
I'm
It's really cool to have
yeah.
something directly in a jacket, but I have a very small space that I can fit, like a very small space between the table and the machine.
Okay.
That I have to shove the jacket under.
Mhm.
You know, it's like an inch,
Oh.
and it's like an inch clearance, and so I can't stitch on things that are too thick.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm stitching on really heavy denim.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of vintage pieces and you kind of wrestle with the jacket the whole time. You have to make sure that it doesn't get caught on anything or it's not dragging too much because the smallest little, like if it's bumping into the machine on the side, it'll just mess up your stitching.
And you can't go back, can you? Can you unstitch something and be like,
You can completely unravel something.
oh, really?
And I do that sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. But you have to be careful because you're putting hundreds of holes in a thing and then
Yeah.
you
You
can only
gotta cover it up then, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta if you redo something too many times, it ends up being weird.
There's just a big hole in your jacket.
Yeah. I'd make jokes about that with people. Like, I really appreciate you trusting me and letting me put thousands of tiny holes into your expensive jacket that
Yeah.
you love.
I hope I do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's interesting. Because there's that show with tattoo artists where you can like go over a tattoo. So I thought like if you do make up like a really bad mess of something, you could just like sort of go over it. Is that not true?
I wish that were the case. You can't really stitch on top of stitches a whole lot because then it gets snagged.
Okay.
So that is also the thing is that if you can't do too many layers of something on top of each other.
Okay.
So most of the time if I mess something up, if I'm lucky, I can pull one thread and it completely unravels the whole thing, which is great, but also bad because you can do that on accident. I've done that on accident.
Which is what you don't want to do.
Yeah. But sometimes you just have to go in there with a seam ripper and just pull apart your work and undo it bit by bit and get in there with tweezers and good fun times.
What do you think like made you want to keep doing it? Like what is it about? Is like the textile aspect of it? Like you're actually doing something with your hands and like you can see the progress, or like what do you think it is that keeps you coming back?
I mean, I love the process of all of it. I like working with clients and them coming to me with ideas, and then I get to sketch them out and we can kind of collaborate on how it's going to end up looking.
Yeah.
And then I love to see a final product. So that's really, really gratifying for me. But also I'm still learning. Like every time that I make a piece, I'm getting better. And I think that's what keeps me doing it. Is that
It's like a challenge. Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, there are incredible chain stitchers out there that I look up to and that I like hope that I can make work as elaborate as them someday.
Yeah.
So I think just that I'm still learning from it, that I'm still growing, that there's still room to improve. That's what is exciting.
Yeah.
That's what I really like about it.
Because to me, it's like, what was the first couple ones that you did? Was it scary for you to be like, I'm charging for this? That's always my fear, is like, I'm afraid like my deliverables will not be, you know what I mean? And so like when you first started learning and people were like, hey, can you do this? And you're like, yes, I can. And then you took it in. Were you like nervous that like the end product was going to be, since you are still learning, or what you were at that point?
Yeah. I mean,
what's the first real thing that you did for someone outside of yourself?
The first thing I did, I think, was a jacket.
Okay.
And I think it was a wolf, maybe like a wolf head.
That sounds hard to do.
It took a long time.
Yeah. So, I'll give it back to you in 6 months. Does that sound about right?
I think I actually turned it around pretty quickly, and it was a girl in Texas. Was she in Texas?
How'd she find you? Instagram or?
For the first, I don't know. When I first started chain stitching for the first couple years, it was all word of mouth.
Oh wow.
Because I wasn't putting anything on the internet yet. I still, my Instagram used to be private. I only recently changed it like 2 years ago to public because I was working with a store and doing an event for them, a chain stitching event. And they're like, hey, can you like make your Instagram public? So
no.
And I was like, I guess I'll like start posting my work.
Yeah. Why didn't you want to make it public? Just a lot of weirdos on the internet.
I mean, there are weirdos on the internet, but I have a really, I love posting my work. I love all the people I've met through Instagram.
Right,
but
the feedback and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. It is a really great way to build community if you use the internet right. It's awesome.
Yeah.